FC Fayumba this evening clinched the first ever Federation Cup after they beat Nasarawa United 5-4 on penalties in the final after both teams failed to score in regulation time. FC Fayumba impressively converted all their kicks while their keeper, Uche Okafor, saved one from Nasarawa United. Meanwhile, Rivers Angels have emerged champions of the 2016 Federation Cup in an entertaining final at the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos. Bayelsa United's Rafiat Sule caught the opener in the 20th minute, but her celebration did not last long as Rivers Angels' Osinachi Ohale leveled the scoreline 5 minutes later. Both were still unable to break the deadlock in the second half, and the game headed to penalties for the second successive year. In the English Premier League, Harry Kane this evening scored from the spot on his return to action as Tottenham came from a goal down to draw 1-1 away at Arsenal in the North London derby. The draw means Arsenal stay fourth, 1 point behind second place Chelsea and level with third placed Manchester City. In other games also decided this evening, Liverpool went top of the Premier League for the first time under manager Jurgen Klopp with an emphatic 6-1 victory over Watford at Anfield. On to tennis, Britain's Andy Murray this evening celebrated his rise to world number one by beating American John Isner 6-3, 6-7, 6-4 to win his first Paris Masters title. The victory was Murray's sixth ATP title of a memorable 2016. The Scot also added his second Olympic and Wimbledon titles on his way to the top of the rankings. President Barack Obama begins a countdown of his remaining days in the White House, but he's very involved in the campaign for Hillary Clinton to become next president of the United States. The president has been on a number of solo campaigns as the Democratic Party tries to consolidate its hold on blue states and make sure swing states vote in their direction. Our correspondent Maria Bird reports.
Obama leaves the White House on his way to campaign for Hillary Clinton in North Carolina.
Understand the stakes here. My name's not on the ballot, but everything we've worked for is on the ballot. Justice is on the ballot. Equality is on the ballot. Jobs are on the ballot. Health care is on the ballot. Criminal justice reform is on the ballot. Democracy is on the ballot. I need you to vote. Don't choose fear. Choose hope. Don't choose fear. Choose hope. Don't choose fear. Choose hope. Go out there and vote. And if you do, we'll remind the entire world why America is the greatest nation on earth. God bless you, Fayetteville. God bless the United States of America.
President Barack Obama holds back no punches during his speech in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It is clear he believes Secretary Clinton should be the next commander-in-chief. President Obama is hopeful that Secretary Clinton makes it through and is the next president-elect for the United States of America.
Meanwhile, our correspondent Shimo Kimbaloya gives an insight into the process, the American electoral process from perspective of the coordinators and voters at the grassroots.
Is ticking, and November 8th is on the minds of millions of Americans who want to find out who becomes the 45th American president. Just like me, there are several international journalists who are monitoring and covering this election. The world really wants to find out who emerges the winner in this race. This is perhaps one of the most controversial American elections. But again, in Nigeria, we have the Independent National Electoral Commission that coordinates election. In the U.S., the system seems to slightly be different from here. There is a federal election body, but again, local authorities here are much more involved in the coordination of elections. So I was curious to find out how the election process go, the basics of the process. And so I visited Brown County in Green Bay, in the state of Wisconsin, one of the local authorities here. This sort of local government, the tier of government is usually directly responsible for coordinating elections of this nature. I met Sandy Journal, who is a Brown County clerk. My business here is to find out how the voting process goes. First, I asked her who is eligible to vote in an American election and where does a would-be voter begin from.
On our voter registration form, there are 2 questions that are really important. One is it'll ask you if you are a U.S. citizen, yes, no. It's up to you to disclose whether you are or not. The other one is, are you 18 years of age or older?
And after registration, on the day the voter wants to vote, he or she will need to appear with identification.
If you're registered, then the next step would be when you go to the polling place, you're going to present your photo identification to the poll worker. You're going to state your name and address. They're going to look at your photo identification and see that the name on there matches what's on the polling book. And then they're going to look at you to see if the image they're looking at, the photo identification, is indeed you. Once that's been verified, they will assign a number to your name on the polling book, and they will hand you a ballot. From there, you'll go to a private area, you'll cast your ballot. Once that's done, you'll insert it into the tabulator.
Here is a demo ballot paper and a voting machine to cast a ballot. Meet Justin Schmidt. He works with Sandy here and is largely in charge of setting up the machines and the process. He puts.
You can stay with Channels Television for coverage of the elections Tuesday night here on Channels Television. And the main news again. The federal government has ruled out any likelihood of hike in petroleum prices, insisting on the current template of 145 naira per litre. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night.
This is Channels Television, celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting.